Okay, stop the meeting.
Recording, where's it?
Oh, connecting.
There you are.
Join with computer audio, yes.
Okay. I don't see you yet.
Dale, did you check the microphone? Make sure your microphone was properly connected.
Okay. Your participants there. Is that Mary Beth?
Hello.
Hello.
There you are. All right, we're in.
Hi.
I'm gonna get off my phone, Nikki.
Yeah, but you gotta get your video on.
Okay.
And your
Computer audio connected.
we're figuring it out. We're getting there.
No worries. We've had some practice because Augie has had all of his Mass General appointments like this.
Well, we've done a lot. I've done a lot of Zoom meetings. I've never been the host, so this is
Yeah.
a first for me.
Can you
No, it's all right.
unmute?
Augie, turning up the volume is on the right.
Yeah, it's clicking.
So I don't see you. Or I don't hear. Oh, here you go. Connecting to audio.
Can you hear me, Nikki?
No, on the phone, yes, but not on the screen.
I'm gonna test the speaker. Yes. Hello, how are you?
Don't hear you. And I don't see a button to unmute you, if that's the problem. And it is recording.
Maybe I don't have a camera on my computer, you know that?
That would be a problem. Although I'm good with no camera.
What'd you say?
My family takes pictures and I do this.
Brenda, it should still be, even if you don't have a microphone either on your computer, probably. Try calling in on your phone. Go to
Using the phone, the phone number? Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna hang up and call on the phone, okay?
yeah, use your go to
How about join on?
Good, good, please.
well, then you can the audio, but go ahead, hang up, but go to your email, click on the button on your phone.
There's Nikki. All right.
All right. Bye.
How can I get everybody on here?
They can hear you.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
We're trying to get Brenda on.
Okay. Hi. How are you? Hi, Nikki.
How are you?
Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm okay. I'm recovering from having my shoulder
Great.
replaced.
Oh, wow.
Which is, yeah, it was really fun here. So really, really fun. But otherwise, I'm good. Not the bottom one. Just the two. There's two bills in your check. Okay, not the bottom. You still have a bottom one. I don't think it's a bill. No, it's not ready. And yeah, right. You just two bills in your check. Thank you. Have a good time tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. It's just, yeah, it's been harder than the first time.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Much harder. Yeah. But I'm on the road. So that's it. That's all that counts. It's on the road.
It means you're getting better.
It is. I'm getting better.
Good.
Slowly crawling my arm up the wall, which is the exercise.
I remember that. I had to do that once. I forget. I have done that.
Yeah. The first one was much easier. In 6 weeks, which is next Tuesday, I mean, I was pretty well done. But I'm not there yet, so just a long way to go, but it's okay. That's how it is. Okay, here comes the phone ringing in, maybe.
Okay, I'm on the phone, Nikki.
Okay.
Hey, Brenda.
So
Hi, Georgia.
Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Mary Beth.
Hi, Mary.
Brenda, do you
Gosh, I got all dolled up today. Nobody can see me.
Can you see us?
You can't do FaceTime?
I don't think my computer has a camera. From in the future
Oh, wow.
meetings, I'll just do it from home because I do have a camera on my computer at home, my Mac computer. So I'll just
Okay.
handle it that way. How's that sound?
So, Brenda, do you see us on your computer?
I do. Hi, Mickey. Hi, Georgia.
Hi, sweetie.
And I see Mary Beth.
Hey,
So hopefully Jeanette's coming.
Anybody else?
Jeanette reached out to me, maybe it was Wednesday or yesterday, I don't know, when I was at my mom's, and saying she didn't see the instructions for the meeting, and so I resent her the email that I sent out Monday about the instructions for the meeting, the ID and everything, so I sent it to her, and I haven't heard from her, so I don't know.
Okay,
I just signed in at the town building. Gail Holgate tried to swear me in the town clerk's office. She could not get on. I could hear her. She could not hear me.
Mhm.
There were at least 15 phone calls before she finally called me from her. Oh no, Laura called me and was able to get through on her computer. So I'm like, okay. Hi, Wes. Good.
Did you get sworn in, Georgia?
I am. Yes.
Good. I did that
I
this
have-
morning too.
Yeah. I mean, it took for Gail finally couldn't do it on her computer for whatever reason. So Laura was able to do it quickly. So,
Good.
and I have the paper to sign. I'll send it in later.
Yeah, same with me.
Yeah. Who else are
Brenda?
Who else are we expecting? Was Brenda, you're still there?
I'm here.
Okay. Who else is coming?
I think
Jeanette?
just Jeanette. So I talked to, I've been trying to get a hold of John Malloy, and I've been trying to get a hold of Patricia, and I've not been successful. But when I called today, I talked to Patricia's and John's daughter, Jane. John is actually in a nursing home off island in Canton.
Wow.
He could not get into our island home because it was because of COVID-19, and they weren't accepting any new patients. And hopefully they're going to relax those restrictions maybe in September, and he will be able to get into our island home then. But that is the goal, is to get him back here to Nantucket.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's in a nursing home in Canton, and his their daughter Jane said that he was doing well. But he was doing well, and I don't want to give out too much personal information since this is being recorded.
Right.
I haven't seen their car in their driveway for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I know that Patricia is there, Mary Beth, and her daughter is there with her right now.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know if it's just
I
temporarily.
might drive by when they're out, yeah.
Yeah. I think like Patricia, like a lot of elderly people are staying close to home because there's so few activities that they can do,
Right.
That's here.
Yes.
Jeanette?
Great.
Hi, Jeanette.
Hi, what time is this meeting supposed to be?
3:30.
Right now.
Oh, well, good thing I'm on because I had it at 4. Sorry.
You're all
That's
That's okay.
See you later.
Yeah, Jeanette. Where are you
Yes.
going? Oh, where are you going? Oh, were you going to leave?
Say again?
We're here, right? You're ready for the meeting?
Right.
Got it.
All right. So
All right.
I'm going to start the process. I've got to read. This is my first time hosting, so bear with me.
All right. You do that reading while I get the thing I printed up, and I'll be
Okay.
right back.
Got to read a lot of stuff. Okay, so this meeting is being recorded by the town of Nantucket, and it will be broadcast on the town's government TV YouTube channel after the meeting has concluded. Then, as a preliminary matter, this is Nikki Rowland, Chair of the Nantucket Commission on Disability. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Georgia,
Yes.
Mary Beth,
Yes.
Jeanette?
Yes, present. I have to see where to
No,
mute. Okay.
You're fine. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Brenda?
Brenda McDonough here.
Good. Good afternoon. This is open meeting of the Nantucket Commission on Disability being conducted remotely consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. This order, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. For this meeting, the Commission on Disability is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your microphone, mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. Any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in a conversation with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. After members have spoken, the chair will look for public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged and speak through the chair. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. Okay. On to the agenda. Does everybody have a copy of the agenda with them? So
I brought it up. I have.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I don't have to screen share that. All right, so calling the meeting to order. It's 3:42. We're going to adopt the agenda as written. So there's 4 of us. We have a quorum. So the first order, we haven't done this yet this year, is to elect officers. So if anybody's interested in in being an officer of either the chairman, vice chairman, or do we have a secretary?
Yes.
I think we do. Or
I nominate Roland as chairperson.
I second it.
Okay.
Georgia, was that you that seconded?
Yes, it was.
So
Okay.
I'm going to ask for a roll call vote. So all those in favor, and Mary Beth,
Aye.
Georgia,
Yes, I.
Jeanette,
Aye.
aye. So, all right.
Exciting.
We're so glad you accept it.
Yeah, thank you. For vice chair, I don't even know who the current vice chair is.
Georgia is.
Georgia.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to nominate Jeanette just to switch that around.
Second.
So I'll do a vote. Mary Beth,
Yes, I.
Georgia,
Yes, I.
Jeanette,
Aye, yes,
and I also.
thank you.
Mary Beth, you seconded that, correct?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
I want accurate minutes.
And do we do a secretary? Brenda?
We do secretary.
Okay, who's that?
Who's our secretary? Besides you.
That's Carrie Lynn.
Ah, okay.
Well, since Mary Beth's left over, I'm gonna nominate Mary Beth as the secretary.
I second.
Okay, so all those in favor, Mary Beth,
I.
Georgia,
I.
Jeanette,
Aye.
and I'll say aye also.
Ta-da.
All right, officers. Done. Public comment, there isn't anybody here, so
Should I bring Augie in? I'm kidding.
you could, if you'd like to speak.
I'm gonna
Say
interrupt him.
something.
He's busy, yeah.
Excuse me one second, I'm gonna close my window shade. Hang on a second.
I'm going to hush my children.
Well, you can mute, Georgia. You can mute your screen, so you hear them, but we don't. You're muted now.
No. Well, all right, that didn't help. But anyway, all right.
I was gonna say,
Moving
what
on.
did Mickey?
Mickey,
Yes,
may I just say something just for the record that I'm not on video, I'm just on audio. Brenda McDonough.
okay, thank you. All right, so next agenda item is to approve the open session minutes for October 28th.
I'll make that motion. Jeanette.
Second to that?
I wasn't there.
I was, I think, was I there?
Actually, I don't think you were, Mary Beth. Well,
Yeah, Mary Beth was.
I was, okay, then,
okay, good.
I.
All right, so all those in favor of accepting those minutes? Aye. Oh, Mary Beth,
Aye.
Georgia,
I.
Jeanette,
Aye.
okay, and I. All right, on to new business, which we don't have any agenda items on that. So we'll skip on to old business, nothing there either, and then other business. So these are basically just updates, because we haven't really done a lot lately. But these are pretty old. Well, actually, the number one item is the land bank. That's pretty recent. I can fill you in a little bit about that. The land bank is buying the Hayes property in Monomoy, and they are going to be developing it for open space. They're going to be putting in. Brenda and I met with Jesse Bell and Eric Sabetsky by Zoom.
And Eric.
And
Oh, what?
Yep.
What property did you say?
It's the Hayes property. You know the Lucille Hayes?
Oh, yes. Okay. So down on the creeks.
Not on the creeks. It's a huge
Gotcha.
property overlooking
Yep. Okay.
the harbor. I don't know how many acres, but it's pretty big. They're going to retain one building. Of course, nothing has been actually written in stone. This hasn't even gone by their board yet. They just wanted to run it by us just to make sure that we were generally okay with their concept. And the concept is essentially to take down one of the buildings, but leave another one, and then build some paved bike paths that'll go into the property fairly close to where the cottage is going to remain. Um, and then they'll use the cottage as kind of they'll keep the porch, it'll become, the outdoors of the cottage will be an accessible area. And the bike path will provide bike access and to some degree wheelchair access. But they're also going to have a maintenance, a paved, not a paved, but a dirt driveway maintenance road going into the property. And that will be available only to the maintenance workers, but also to disabled people. And the way that they'll be able to use it really hasn't been determined, but it'll either be through a gate with an access code, or they may just leave it open with a sign saying this is only for disabled access. No, not open for public vehicles. And that was kind of a discussion that we talked about for a while, how to make that secure for the land bank, but also provide vehicular access for disabled people.
This is in the newspaper yesterday. This whole project is in the newspaper, and the building they're keeping, I think, was built in 1910 or 1900, something like that, and that's why they're going to keep the one portion and tear down the rest.
Okay, that's good. The historic building.
I didn't read the article. So is that the main home? I used to do work for the Hayes as catering. Is that the main house or not? Do you know, Georgia?
I don't think so. What I understand is the main house was built onto this old piece. So it was part of the house, but I don't know what part.
Okay.
But it is in the newspaper, Land Bank News, and I forgot how many acres. It's a lot of land. It's quite a lot. It's going to be quite large.
Yeah, it's going to be very nice. They're leaving a big yard up there.
Yeah.
So that people can go up and see the view and hang out. It'll be open 24/7. Anybody can go up there at any time on a bike or walk up there. So they're not restricting the access, like essentially like their other properties, I guess. But they don't want cars from the general public to drive up into it. So that's the.
So how are they planning Vicky, for people to get there? Where are they going to park?
Well, okay, so there is like a maybe 14 or 13 parking spaces relatively close to the Milestone Road.
Okay, thank you.
And the bike path kind of starts through there and loops up into the property. There's a sort of a circular path that brings you back down. There's also a walking path to the north side of the property that would be basically through, I'm guessing, a mowed pathway like lawn. And we talked about different ways of, if we could maybe try to make that somewhat accessible by using that grid type structure that you put within a lawn and you can mow over it, but it creates a kind of a stiff pathway that wheelchairs can presumably use.
Is the parking lot adjoining the property?
It's on the property.
It is, okay, good.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure when you said Milestone Road. I thought,
yeah,
okay, that could be walking. So, okay, sounds good.
So it's a long walk from the parking lot up to the house, up to the view. And that's why Brenda and I were pretty, sure that we wanted them to provide vehicular access for disabled people. So we think that'll happen. It hasn't really totally been determined how it's going to happen, but it's a work in progress, I guess. They said they would let us know when they've got more input from the board, and
Can I say something, Mickey, please?
Go ahead.
Okay, this is Brenda McDonough. So when we met with Jessie Bell and Eric on Monday, this is just like a work in progress. But one thing they really wanted to do is they wanted the Commission on Disabilities input to make sure that this property is as accessible as it can possibly be. It really was a very important part of this meeting, this preliminary meeting. And Mickey and I discussed it over the weekend, and we sent our questions and concerns to the land bank prior to the meeting. And both Jessie Bell and Eric were very receptive to the comments and suggestions that they made, and they're going to try to incorporate them the best they can into the Hayes property. So I think the meeting went very well, and I think we were very well received.
Mhm.
Years ago where my kids lived in Oregon, there was a temperate rainforest, which I'd never heard of, but the state had put a tarmac pathway. I mean, it must have been half a mile through the woods down to the beach. So it was very accessible for anybody except for whoever was pushing it back up the hill. But anyway, it was accessible by wheelchair. And I would think they could do something like that on this property.
It will be accessible by wheelchair along the
Okay.
bike lane. But we were just concerned that, people would this difficulty walking that weren't in a wheelchair or short
Right.
breath would have a hard time getting from the parking lot up to the house.
Yep.
So
True. Yes. Okay, good. Sounds great.
it does
I
sound
assume
great.
they'll publicize the plan at some point, right?
They will, but that's not open to the public just yet.
No, that's fine. Okay.
When we get more information from them, we'll bring that back to you guys, and we'll review it one more time.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move on, and I'm gonna let Brenda probably take this one, the Bonita Bar.
So during this, the beginning of the shutdown of COVID-19, Patrick Ridge, the owner of Island Kitchen, reached out to us because he was applying for a variance for a new dining room on the first level next to the ice cream shop, if people are familiar with the Island Kitchen and their ice cream shop there. At one time, it was used for a store, the Happy Place, something like that. And so he's going to convert it into a dining room and for private events. So the second floor of the Island Kitchen Bonita Bar is not accessible. And several years ago, they applied for a variance not to make that accessible by providing elevator service to it. And we agreed, the Commission on Disability reviewed the variance request, and we agreed with it on the condition that no private functions were held on the second floor. So now they are opening up this other dining room on the first floor where they can hold private functions. So they wanted that stipulation relaxed on that variance request of a couple of years ago. They want to be able to hold private functions on the second floor or a private party on the second floor. And the condition was they can, if someone needed an accommodation and couldn't access that second floor, they could have the function in the new first floor dining room. So we've had several conversations with Patrick concerning this, and one of Mickey's big concerns was on the second floor, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but they have a fireplace which doesn't work, and they have a bar up there, and they have like some lounge seating, and it really wasn't the same feel. Mickey certainly didn't feel it was the same feel that they were going to be providing on the first floor dining room. So with a little back and forth, and Patrick was very open to our suggestions, they are now going to have the private dining room, and they're including a fireplace, a small service bar, and they're including adjustable seating, which we thought was really important instead of fixed seating, because if you, just for people that are in a wheelchair or a walker or whatever, they can be accommodated more easily if you can adjust the seating and the tables in that private dining room. So they, Mickey supported the variance request with those conditions, and they were granted that variance request.
Will the ice cream place still be opened? Is that?
Oh, yes.
It's behind the ice cream.
The ice cream place is definitely open. This
Will be
dining room is adjacent to the ice cream shop.
okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Is it what used to years ago be known as the Bamboo Club?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
The whole thing is correct, Mary Beth.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember from when I lived here years ago, the first time around. Okay.
I was trying to remember that name, but yes, that's what I remember too. Okay.
Prior to that, it was Chin's Restaurant.
Yep. I think when it was Bamboo Supper Club, the scuttlebutt was that they kept cocaine in the bathrooms.
There was something weird about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yep. Okay.
All right, so covered that one, bamboo. So the next item is the outdoor seating, restaurant seating. This was right at the beginning of the summer when the town was trying to work with the restaurant group to see how they could set up their outdoor seating areas. And Amy Baxter from the town contacted me and essentially sent me all of the restaurants' requests for how they wanted to arrange their seating plans. And I'm not going to go into every detail, but basically I looked at each one myself and made comments as to whether I thought they were being a little too aggressive because some of them, like on Main Street, were trying to set up seating right on the sidewalk, and maybe they have, I haven't even seen it. But I commented that that's fine as long as they don't crowd the sidewalk too much. So I was suggesting that a lot of them try to put more of their seating out into the parking spaces in the road so it wouldn't block the sidewalk as much. And I actually haven't seen the outcome of everything that's been done, but I know they're all up and running. Some are on the sidewalk, and hopefully there's room for pedestrians to get by in wheelchairs. A lot are out in the parking spaces in the road, but I guess we're just letting you know that we reviewed those issues early on and got some input to the town regarding that. So next item is number 4, Academy Hill accessible parking. Back to Brenda.
Yep. So the accessible parking has been an issue up at Academy Hill because there's only 2 accessible parking spaces and there's 27 apartments up at Academy Hill. And residents of Academy Hill have contacted me for, over the last couple of years that they really need additional parking because if anyone's familiar with Academy Hill, the parking lot is recessed below the building, and in order for people to go from the parking lot, they either have to walk up a series of steps, like maybe about 15 steps up to the side entrance, or walk all the way around to the front of the building to enter the building. Either way that they enter that building can be very difficult for anybody with ambulatory concerns. So I reached out to Erica in December, wondering if the town owns the land and Hallkeen Management has a 99-year lease on the building. But I reached out to Erica to see if the town had any control over the parking lot on the north side of the building to see if we could create some accessible parking spaces there and then have an accessible route to the front entrance, which is accessible. So she deferred to Ken Beaugrand, who visited the site in January, and he didn't see any other place for the parking other than where the 2 spots exist now in the front of the building. So I reached out to Ken today to see if he can meet Mickey and me up at Academy Hill to discuss parking on the north side. And we are going to meet with him on August 21st, which is a Friday afternoon, and to discuss this. And one of the residents at Academy Hill wondered if she could participate in that meeting and have some of the other residents participate in that meeting to really advocate for these accessible parking spaces. And Mickey, I think, is willing to have them participate in our meeting with Ken Beaugrand on that Friday. So I will reach out to my contact person at Academy Hill and make sure that they are aware that we plan to be up there on the 21st of August. and hopefully we can get some more accessible parking spaces in for these for these residents who really need it very, very badly.
You're talking about the north side where there is no parking at all right now, just in the front, right? And then on the south side.
That's correct, Georgia. The north side is just really, it's an open dirt space, more or less.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what it's used for, but
There are
that's
a bunch of
right
trees
now.
there.
Excuse me?
There are a bunch of trees in there too, so around that side, but okay. And you're saying there's an exit there on that side, and that is better. Yeah, the south side is pretty awful, so anybody with any mobility issues, it's prohibitive, so, okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So,
Yeah.
Mickey, what's that road that you would access this parking lot?
Muted. You're
Is it
muted.
Academy
Academy
Lane?
Lane.
Yeah.
Is it Academy Lane?
I think so.
Okay.
There used to be a playground when the school was there years ago when I was doing substitute teaching, and I thought it was tar on that side. And so I would think it would make like half a dozen at least parking spots from what I remember in size, but that's a long time ago that I remember it.
Yep. Jeanette, this is, we visited the site several times, and there seems to be enough space to create, I think, at least 3 accessible parking spaces along with access aisles. And we will definitely measure them on the 21st of August and see what we can do.
Brenda, do you remember if where's the door? Is it on that wall or is it around to the west side? I can't remember.
Go ahead.
So you mean, I think the door, Mickey, that we're wanting to access would be the main door, correct? The entrance door?
Okay, you're probably right, but I remember maybe there was another door that it maybe just was not close enough to, like a stairway door? There's a stairway on that side. But I don't know. The front door would probably be fine.
Is it a stairway, Jeanette?
There is a stairway, or was going when we were going to school and stuff. But if I remember correctly, my class could go out a side door, or on the other,
Right.
not go out the front door because that was the offices. So, but yeah, I don't know, what was the other question? I'm sorry. Did that answer it for you?
I would think there has to be a door, an exit there.
I think so.
Anyway, fire hazard wise, I would think you have to have a door there.
Yeah.
And it seems to me that it would be level with the parking lot area if it's on the north side. I mean, maybe a step or two, but no more. It wouldn't seem to be that, not like on the south side where it is a whole bunch of steps.
Yeah, it is.
That's
not.
just my thought. Yeah, that there should be a door there that's, pretty accessible, hopefully.
We'll see it when we get there again. We've looked at it carefully, and I just can't remember where if there's another door. There must be, but
Yeah.
I think the door, Mickey, was on the west side, but I'm not so sure it was like, at the time, it was certainly not like a open to the public door, not like the front door is accessible to everybody.
Well, the west side is on the hill, right?
Yes, but it would be at the northern edge of the west wall.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep.
And even if there isn't a door that looks there, I think the parking still makes sense, even if they have to go around to the front of the building.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
All right. Brenda, I think you got it from here, number 5, Boardwalks.
Yep. So Hillary Rayport is, she lives on Upper Main Street, and she has been really concerned about the historic preservation of Nantucket sidewalks and streets. And she's very well informed, and she's done her homework for sure. So she wanted to get a group of town people from Nantucket together who have different interests, such as the people that were at the meeting with me was like Jason Bridges was there from the select board, Stephen Welsh was there from HDC, there was Alan Reinhardt was supposed to be there, Rob McNeil was there from the DPW. So they had interested parties there. There was somebody there, Mary, something from Nantucket Preservation Trust, and so they had a lot of interested parties. And it was really, and they had an engineer that does historic preservation from Boston come down also. And I think Hillary Rayport was the one that hired him to come to Nantucket. And we just walked around. We started off on Fair Street and Judith Chase Lane and just looked at different areas that the DPW has already renovated, so to speak, or fixed the cobblestones or the streets or the curb cuts and the crosswalks. And, Rob McNeil just explained the process and the methods that he chose and why he chose them. Sometimes he wasn't given too many options. But we just walked around town. There was really nothing decided, nothing really. Steve Welsh gave some of his views as far as HDC involvement, but it was nothing really official. It was just a walk around and just to view the streets and the sidewalks, what's been done, what it might be done in the future, and they just wanted the Commission on Disability to be part of it, and Mickey was not available for it, so I was, and that's really just the gist of the whole meeting that we did. It lasted maybe about 2 hours, and I got to meet some really interesting people in the town. I was great for the contacts.
Great.
Okay. Brenda, go back to number 5, the boardwalks.
Oh, yes. Okay, so the boardwalks, I just wanted to make sure that the boardwalks and the platforms were installed at the places where they should be installed, at Galley Beach, and yes, it was. Jetties has the boardwalk and the platform installed, and there were actually 3 strollers on the platform, which I thought was great. Everybody was using the boardwalk to access Jetties Beach the day that I was down there. And Children's Beach, that platform and ramp is totally in, and I just want to report that I'm very grateful the DPW was able to install these with everything that's going on with COVID-19, so I was very happy about that.
Okay.
Great.
So number 7, 31 Fairgrounds.
Okay, so 31 Fairgrounds, there are plans, and I don't believe that anything has been approved to date, to put in 5 apartment buildings there, and the buildings are all going to be 2 stories each, and they're going to have anywhere from 8 to 10 units in each building. And one of the abutters emailed me to make me aware that there are plans for a development there, and the plans that they submitted to the HDC, which I think they submitted to the HDC according to Mickey, was just to see what the HDC's take is on the whole project. It really wasn't to approve the plans that were submitted, like the building plans and stuff. So I did a little bit of research, and I contacted William Joyce, who's the executive director of the Architectural Access Board, to see what kind of compliance that, what jurisdiction the Architectural Access Board had over this project. And they fall under what they call Group 1 dwellings. And in Group 1 dwellings, all the first level apartments you have to provide complete access to them. So there can be no steps going up to the doorways or to the porch or anything. Everything has got to be ramped or provide access right to the first, to every unit on the first floor level. And along with that, all the units on the first floor have to comply with Group 1 dwelling in the Architectural Access Board. So that means there's certain accessibility requirements for the kitchen, the bathroom, the bedrooms, the hallways, everything. So when this project, if it does move forward, we will totally have all eyes on it to make sure that everything is in compliance because it's brand new construction. So I was very happy that this abutter did send me along this information because I was totally unaware of it. And I will definitely keep everybody informed as this project either moves forward or doesn't move forward.
Okay.
Brenda,
Yep.
this is
Jeanette?
Jeanette. Salt Marsh was looking at that for, to move their building out there. And I think there were limited parking spots, if I remember, not enough for what they thought they would get for the Salt Marsh, which would have many more people going on a daily basis. So I don't know how that works on this whole project.
So from when I looked at the plans that they have right now, they have, let me see, I figured it out. So there's 44 units, okay? They're all like 1, 2, or 3 bedrooms. That 3 of the buildings will have 8 units in them, and 2 of the buildings will have 10 units in them. And they're going to have 51 total parking spaces. And when you have 51 parking spaces, I believe it's anything over 50, you need 3 accessible parking spaces, one of which has to be van accessible. And so that's what I gather from the plan that they have now before the HDC, Jeanette.
Another question, which probably you don't know the answer, are they planning on taking down what I call Wiggles Coffin's home? I mean, it doesn't seem like that area is big enough for all of this, which again is not our concern, just my curiosity.
I really couldn't answer that, Jeanette.
Okay.
Yeah.
From what it looks like in the plans, everything that's on the plan seems to be just those 5 buildings. Those are the only structures. Correct, Mickey?
Yeah, they're going to move Wiggles' building off. Jeanette, who was Wiggles? What was his role in the town?
He was Fred Coffin, and he had served in the service. His wife was Joan Coffin and was our town treasurer years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was just a good guy, fisherman maybe, I don't know. And he has 5 daughters, I believe they had.
Did he work in the town?
I don't believe so. I honestly can't remember. You have to get somebody a little bit older than me. Was a good dancer, that I know. I remember that.
That's good. Okay.
So it's all going to be on that side of the road. It's not going to be across from Fairgrounds.
No, it's right next door to Fairgrounds Restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is a pretty big piece of property.
Who is who's doing this project? Who's in charge of this?
I think it's Billy Cassidy. Am I right, Mickey?
Billy Cassidy, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's still the one across the street, right at 2 Fairgrounds. Back in there, right? Aren't they planning a big project in there?
They still are, I believe. Yes. Yep.
And that's town owned, right?
That'll be
That's
town
Tacoma,
owned.
isn't it?
Pardon?
Is that Tacoma, Mickey?
Yes, I believe.
Yeah.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
That just got, I guess, past a legal hurdle to get further approvals.
Okay. Because that was a pretty big project as well, as I recall,
Correct.
what
Yep.
they were planning. So that's a lot of additional cars on Fairgrounds Road.
Yep. Yep.
But we can't argue about that, right? As far
Yep.
as our concern.
That's up to a different board to worry about.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey, I just wanted to mention also that I sent everybody out an email just prior to this meeting. The Mass Office on Disability had a statewide meeting for like ADA coordinators, and I participated, and there's like 160 participants in this Zoom call, and it was really very interesting. The presenters really did a great job just describing what the Mass Office on Disability does and what services and programs they have in place. And then prior to the meeting, you could submit questions. There was 10 questions that they answered at the end. They had different people answer the questions, and some of it was on COVID-19 related questions about accessibility, such as if someone has a disability and cannot wear a mask, they wanted to go into a restaurant, but the restaurant requires them to wear a mask, what would be the accommodation? And they were saying that the accommodation would be that you do not have to tell anybody what your disability is, because that's personal information. But what you should do is have an order from your doctor saying that you can't wear a mask because of your disability, not stating what your disability is. It was really rather informative, and they sent me a follow-up email, which I forwarded to everybody today, just about some of the services that they do offer and the programs that they offer. And then as far as the questions at the end, which I thought were pretty interesting, they are still working on those. And when they finalize those questions and answers, because some of the answers were extremely lengthy, they're going to email it to me, and I will pass it along to you. But it was really, I thought they did a really great job. And they started exactly at 10, and they ended exactly at noon. Not 1 minute before, not 1 minute after. It was done.
Those are my kind of meetings.
Well, they were great. They had, like, all the presenters. They had, like 7 minutes to present and 5 minutes to present. And when their time was up, their time was up.
This is Jeanette. Do you think that's worth sharing with Roberto? He may already know it, but I mean, it seems like you've got a lot of information there.
Yeah, Jeanette, I do plan on sharing it with the town. Once I get the answers to those questions, because it was the experts answering those questions, I am going to send it along to the town for sure. I'd rather get the direct answer from them versus like my interpretation of the answer.
Good.
Great.
Great.
So, does anybody have any other discussion points they want to bring up? It's been a while. That you're on mute.
I know it. How are you doing? How's everybody doing?
Okay.
Great.
We're hanging in.
Yep.
Everybody.
Mickey, I have one more thing, please.
Okay.
So we usually go into executive session, and I reached out to Erica about executive session, and Maureen Coleman got back to me on Wednesday, and I was gone. I leave Wednesdays for my mom's, and I come back on Fridays. So I'm going to reach out to Maureen how we can do executive session in the future, if that's what we want to do. I just didn't have time to do it today before this meeting, but I will find out how we can do it. And the reason why I didn't think we could do it is because the meeting is being recorded, and I didn't know how do we unrecord and, resume executive session. But I will find that out, and if that's something we want to do in the future, we definitely can.
You're
Muted. You're muted, Jeanette.
I think I'm unmuting. The airport has been doing executive sessions all along. And what we do is wait till Channel 18 has tell us that they're clear. And we have our executive session, so there's no recording of it.
Yep. Jeanette, your meeting is a live meeting then, correct?
Like this. Like I'm
This
doing.
is not a live meeting. This is being recorded. And after we're finished with this meeting, I have to email somebody saying that we finished our meeting on Zoom 3, and then they will upload it to the town's YouTube channel.
Okay, that's the difference.
Yeah, that's the difference. I didn't know how to stop this and go into executive session, but I will find out.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Brenda, anything else?
No, I'm good.
Anybody? Georgia?
Nope. Everything's
Yeah.
good.
Jeanette?
Yep.
Good.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
All those in favor, and I've got to take a roll call on this. Mary Beth?
Aye.
Georgia?
Aye.
Jeanette?
Aye.
and I'm an aye. So
Who seconds that, please?
I think I did.
Gotcha.
I think I did, yeah.
Okay.
Good to see you all. Thank you.
Everybody, nice to see you.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
See you sometime next year, maybe. So take care.
thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right,
See you on the
bye-bye.
next. I'll do it from
Bye.
home. Bye.